Man, y'all, Stephen A just came through and dropped a bomb. He just came through and basically exposed the real reason why LeBron James don't like him, man. This video it's like a 3-minute spiel, but Stephen A went in, man. Check this out.
I get paid to talk about folks, not to them. I cover the league. You play, I watch, dissect, analyze, and broadcast. We ain't gotta communicate. We damn sure don't have to say hello to each other. We don't have to do none of that. We don't get along. And there's a multitude of reasons why. I've alluded to some of them, but we know what the biggest reason is. I ain't Shannon Sharp. It ain't GOAT status this way. My GOAT is Michael Jordan. That's the GOAT. You see, Kobe came into the game with a heart. LeBron developed one. First several years, it wasn't like that because he was scared to get to the free throw line. He was never scared of an opponent. I would never disrespect greatness of LeBron James like that. He was scared to get to the free throw line. That's where the fall away jumpers came from. That was where the hesitancy to go to the hole came from. Anything that could finally lend himself towards going to the free throw line, he wasn't trying to do. But there's this thing about heart that you got to pay attention to. You see, when you lack a speck of it at any point, particularly back in the day, there would be impediments and roadblocks to prevent you from getting it. Why do I call Michael Jordan the GOAT over LeBron James? Because at his very best, compared to LeBron at his very best, I'm going MJ all day, every day. But here's the biggest thing. It was Scottie Pippen with the migraine and others associated with LeBron, with Michael Jordan, that prevented him from climbing that ladder over the Detroit Pistons until the third or fourth or fifth try, whenever it was. It wasn't because of MJ. And I'm telling you here right now, as God is my witness, LeBron, is great and phenomenal as he is, if he were playing in that era, as I've said on many occasions, and he'd gone against Michael Jordan would have tried to snatch his heart right out of his chest before he ever arrived to Miami to learn to win with D. Wade and with Pat Riley. That's my proclamation. I said it before and I'll say it again. That's why Michael Jordan is my GOAT. It's just a basketball opinion to me. It's clearly a lot more to LeBron James. Choking in the finals against the Dallas Mavericks in 2011, fine. Us getting in an argument about something in black media, and fine. The only consistent blemish I've placed against LeBron James is that he is not the greatest of all time. That's the frustration that's been brewing up.
I mean, everything he's saying pretty much not too far off. This obsession with like being the GOAT, I feel like it's kind of taken over LeBron's career these past few years, maybe these past 10 years, but I just feel like that notion and that stance and that dire need to become the GOAT, no matter if you got to force it down people's throat or like maneuver and do certain things in the league to get you to that point, I feel like that's the stance that he kind of took these last few years. And as a LeBron fan, like I can actually see that, like the GOAT debate has become an obsession with him being better than Michael Jordan. So when guys like Stephen A or anybody else in the media come out, like Chris Broussard come out and say things like, oh, Michael Jordan's my GOAT, I got LeBron as number 2, that's always going to be taken as a problem. All the LeBron guys, all the Clutch Sports guys, they're going to attack you in your statement, attack you in your stance. But that's just how they are. You can only appreciate Stephen A for not backing down. He's not one of those paid journalists like Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, Brian Windhorst, you know, extensions like Sean. You're not, though all those guys are really into the Clutch Sports umbrella. And he's not really one of those guys. So that's Stephen A's stance, and that's why he feels so strongly about it, because it's dudes that's paid for out here to suppress their real feelings and suppress their real takes. But it's guys out here like Stephen A that kind of stand on their own morals and not backed by that machine and got their own machine behind them, like ESPN, that's going to allow him to have his own opinion, have his own stance. And he also touched on, like, Kobe coming in with heart, and LeBron having to, develop that. He had to develop that toughness. He brought up the 2011 finals. So it's a couple things. And for me personally, like, that goes into my GOAT debate as well. Like, LeBron, my favorite player, but Michael Jordan is my GOAT. And I'm not one of those guys. And I know LeBron has done a lot of things and continue to do a lot of things on the game-to-game basis, but I'm not one of those guys who call active players the GOAT. Besides calling, like, Stephen Curry the greatest shooter ever, but we're talking about the greatest player ever. I'm not the type to call an active player the GOAT. Winning, accolades, overcoming challenges, moments, impact on the game, and really how you inspire the next generation. Those are the things that kind of go into the GOAT debate with me. There's a bunch of other things you could sit there and dissect, because it's never going to be a definitive person that everybody go by or everybody go to as the GOAT. It's a lot of things you got to nitpick, moments, series, meltdowns, triumphs. Like, you got to go down the whole list. So it's a bunch of things that go into this debate, but that's my stance on it. I mean, I'm open to everybody else's stance. I'm open to changing my opinion if I get some more information. I'm not one of those guys who got my feet locked in on one thing. Once I learn new information, I'm allowed to change my stance on anything. So we are making another video about this whole GOAT debate. But Steve, I just had to come through and touch on what Stephen A had to say. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it, who y'all got as y'all GOAT. Check Ball Sports, man. We gone.